What if everything you were taught about money was specifically designed to keep you from having it? Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by design. Because once you see how this system actually works, once you understand the hidden rules that nobody teaches you in school, you will never look at your bank account, your job, or your financial future the same way again. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people in America are working harder than ever. They're doing everything right. They went to school. They got the job. They're paying the bills. And yet no matter how many hours they put in, they can never seem to get ahead. The debt is still there. The stress is still there. The paycheck runs out before the month does. And somewhere deep down there's this quiet voice that says, "Is this really it?" That feeling you have? That's not failure. That's not laziness. That is the system working exactly as it was designed to. And here's the hidden truth that changes everything. Money has rules. But those rules were never taught to you, because the people who benefit from your ignorance needed you to stay in the game without ever knowing the score. Let's break this down. The first hidden rule is this: money is not what you think it is. Most people think money is something you earn. You trade your time, you get paid, you spend it, and the cycle repeats. But wealthy people understand something fundamentally different. They understand that money is not the goal. Money is a tool. And like any tool, the results depend entirely on how you use it. Think about a hammer. In the hands of someone who doesn't know what they're doing, it's dangerous. In the hands of someone who does, it builds something that lasts for generations. The middle class was taught to use money as a survival tool. Pay the rent, feed the family, survive the month. But the wealthy were taught to use money as a multiplication tool. Invest it, deploy it, make it work while you sleep. Nobody told you that. And that one difference in understanding creates two completely different financial realities. But here's the part nobody talks about. The second hidden rule: the system is built on the illusion of normal. From the moment you were born, you were handed a script. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, buy a house, finance a car, work for 40 years, retire. That script felt normal because everyone around you was following it. But here's what's dangerous about that script. It was written by institutions that profit from your participation. Banks profit when you borrow. Credit card companies profit when you spend. Employers profit when your only option is to show up tomorrow. And consumer brands profit when your sense of identity is tied to what you own. You weren't taught financial literacy in school because a financially literate population is harder to sell to, harder to keep in debt, and harder to keep working for someone else's dream. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is just business. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The third hidden rule is the one that traps almost everyone, and this is where things start to get dangerous. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent wealth killer. Here's how it works. You get a raise. You feel great. So you upgrade your apartment. You get a newer car. You start eating out a little more. You subscribe to a few more things. And suddenly, that raise is completely gone, and you feel exactly as financially stressed as you did before. This happens to almost everyone. Doctors, lawyers, people making six figures. Because income alone does not create wealth. The gap between what you earn and what you spend creates wealth. And the system is specifically designed to close that gap the moment it opens. Every time your income goes up, there is an entire industry, advertising, fashion, real estate, automotive, ready to make sure your expenses go up with it. They call it success. They show you what success looks like. And they make you feel like you've earned the right to spend it. But the wealthy play a different game. They widen the gap. They protect it. They use it. Now here's the part that will make everything click. The fourth hidden rule: there are only 3 ways to make money. You trade your time for it. You put your money to work for it. Or you build systems that generate it without you. The middle class lives almost entirely in Category 1, trading time for money. And the brutal reality of Category 1 is that it has a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day, which means there is only so much you can earn. The wealthy understand that the only way to break through that ceiling is to move into Categories 2 and 3. Assets, investments, businesses, systems, things that generate income whether you are awake or asleep, working or on vacation, healthy or sick. And the most powerful shift you can make, the one that separates people who stay stuck from people who eventually break free, is simply understanding which category you are in right now and deciding which category you want to be in. But the biggest trap is still coming. And this one is psychological. The fifth hidden rule: your identity might be your biggest financial obstacle. Most people don't just struggle with money. They have a relationship with money. A complicated, emotional, deeply personal relationship shaped by how they grew up, what their parents said, what they were told they deserved, and what they secretly believe about themselves. If you grew up hearing that rich people are greedy, some part of you will self-sabotage every time wealth gets close. If you were taught that wanting more is selfish, you will unconsciously limit yourself. If you watched your parents struggle, your nervous system might actually feel more comfortable in financial stress than in financial stability, because stress is what feels familiar. This is not weakness. This is human psychology. But it is something you have to face directly. Because you can learn every strategy in the world and still find a way to undo your own progress, if your identity hasn't caught up with where you're trying to go. And now for the big revelation. The one that ties all of this together. The hidden rules of money are not actually about money. They are about awareness. Every rule we just covered, the way money multiplies, the illusion of normal lifestyle inflation, income categories, psychological identity, none of them require you to be born wealthy. None of them require special connections or a perfect background. They require one thing: that you see them clearly. Because the people who stay broke are not less intelligent. They are less informed. They are playing a game without knowing the rules. And you cannot win a game you don't understand. So here is the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop asking how you can make more money. Start asking how money actually works, and whether the way you currently think about it is serving you or limiting you. Start looking at your habits, your beliefs, your spending, and your identity through the lens of the rules we just talked about. Because awareness is the beginning of every financial transformation that has ever happened. You don't need more hustle. You need more clarity. The school system won't teach you this. The media won't show you this. And most of the people around you don't know this yet. But you do now. The system won't change. The rules won't change. But the moment you truly understand how this game works, the moment you stop playing it blind, you stop being a piece on the board. And you start becoming someone who knows how to play.